we had another take where we just did it so different, so specific choices. And I feel like it's just so important to really make those choices because it really makes you stand out.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real-life stories behind the scenes of TV and film. I'm your host and a talent agent, Jason Lockhart, and today our guest might look familiar. It's Sophia Joss.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. I mean, I will never forget watching Stranger Things and seeing you die.
Of course.
And then you weren't really dead.
Exactly. It was so cool to get to play an actor as an actor.
Oh, you were so committed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny. Like,
it was so much fun.
And you were like a relative of my nephew Gavin. Mm-hmm. And it was just so special.
Oh my gosh. It's so cool to just have those connections for life. Because, like, you can never say, like, we weren't brother and sister on Stranger Things.
Oh, I know.
And, like, all of those people, too. Like, having all of, like, the 8 siblings all together, all working together. And especially as my first ever booking, too.
That's
like,
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And it was such a big, like, memorable episode that they're talking about, like, will there be a spin-off of the Bingham family in Utah?
Yeah, and then, like, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw, like, some theories of, like, oh, like, their whole family was, like, predicting the rest of the show. And I was like, oh, my gosh.
Really?
Exactly. Like, they were saying that I was, like, either Eddie or Steve, like, dying and having, like, that seizure. I know.
I mean, the Duffer Brothers are pretty creative,
so
pretty
smart.
Intelligent. Yeah, who knows? Well, take me back to the audition. You remember getting it?
I do.
So what was going on?
I was actually in math class, and we were just doing a worksheet, and then I opened my email, and I see the audition. And obviously, like, I get so excited because it was me and my dad's quarantine show. So that was, like, our thing. And it's, like, it's still one of my favorite shows to date. And people must have thought I was just really excited about math because I was, like, I was smiling so hard. And then I got home, looked at the script, looked at everything. And I was like, this is going to be a really fun one. This is my second time auditioning for Stranger Things. And we did one take that was just, like, the serious dying because, like, we don't know, like, what they're going for. Because it is Stranger Things. So you think, like, serious, like, if there's a seizure, like, you might actually be having a seizure and dying. And then we did one take that was just really funny, like, really going for it. And that's obviously what they went with in the show. And it was so fun.
No, I love that way you phrased that with the takes and doing them with completely different choices. Is that something you always do?
I always try to. And both of the things that I booked, Stranger Things and Wonder Years, we had another take where we just did it so different, so specific choices. And I feel like it's just so important to really make those choices because it really makes you stand out and gives you something to be remembered by.
Absolutely. Because you're always one of so many. You know what I mean? And clearly it's worked for you 2 times in a row, you know? So take me to set. What was your first day like?
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. So I get there and we're shooting on location. So there's, like, the trailers and everything, and I really had no clue what to expect. 'Cause it was my first time going on any kind of set, and especially, like, a set that big with that many people. And oh my gosh, like, just seeing all of those people that I've, like, admired and looked up to my whole life and, like, working with them, it was such a cool experience.
Who was the first one that you met that you knew?
Ooh. Who was it? I know when we were doing, like, COVID testing and stuff, we saw, like, Gaten Matarazzo and all of those people, and I, like, waved at him, and he waved back, and I was like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? And then I actually saw him a few months ago. I went to New York to see a Broadway show, and he was in it, and he was like, oh my gosh, I remember you! And, like, I know.
Oh, cool.
I know. And then he was like, I'm going to message Gabby, who played Susie, being Gavin's sister. And it was so cool.
And you're still in touch with her, right? With Susie?
Yeah. We message on Instagram a lot. And she's such a good role model. And she'll just always help me, like, with any kind of acting advice, like, advice in general, because she's in college and just looking at all of that stuff. And she's a really, really good person.
Well, speaking of acting advice.
Yes.
Is there any advice that you would give to other actors that you learned from the set of Stranger Things?
I feel like specifically for Tabitha, just, like, how important reactions are. Because I got so much more screen time than I would have ever hoped. Just because I was so in it, even when I wasn't saying my line. And they kept on, like, cutting back to me when I wasn't talking. And even just watching it back, like, there were so many reactions that I didn't even know that I did. but I was just so connected to the role that looking back at it, it's just so important to always listen and be focused on your scene partners instead of you, because you're telling a story together.
Yeah. I'm just so blown away by how passionate and how smart you are, Sophia. Like, I mean, obviously, like, kudos to your parents. Shout out, Tammy. Um, but like, I think you exercising your intelligence and your passion mixed with like this creative venture of pursuing full-time consistent work as an actress, like, it's just so compelling to watch from the outside. You know, I think a lot of people just want to be an actor, but you
I
really,
love it.
I know you love it.
And like just the whole process, like the little auditions, like even just the scene work for the auditions, like I just enjoy every aspect of it.
Why do you think? Like, why do you enjoy it so much?
I feel like with the character work and stuff, it's just so cool to like get into the head of the character and just like the psychology of all of it and just like thinking about their feelings. And I feel like I have like kind of become like the therapist for like all my friends and stuff, just because I have gotten in the mind of like so many different characters and like what drives them and the process behind why they do what they do. And it's so fascinating to me. And I love doing it.
Yeah, it's so obvious. You know, I've seen you in workshops too. It's just like mind blowing work, and I'll never forget like you doing an audition for Mark Fincannon, and he was like, "I have no notes." You know,
That's
you
amazing.
fully commit. It's so cool to see,
Thank you.
and it makes me real curious, like what your dream role might be.
I feel like really just any kind of like series regular role or anything like that, because just having that consistency of getting to do what I love and also the consistency of like working with the same castmates and having those connections and having that connection with the audience. Because I feel like when you do that kind of work, like they just get to see all of the layers of the character and get to relate to you and get to just see themselves in the role. And just being that person to someone would be so cool.
If you're trying to get seen in your acting career, I have good news for you. Whether you are here in Atlanta or want to travel in for an in-studio workshop, or you're tuning in from elsewhere and you want to join us via Zoom, we have also online different workshops where we bring in some of the top agents and casting directors in the Southeast to help move your career forward. If you go ahead to the description right now, you'll find a 10% off promo that we rarely put out there, but we did think that we wanted to thank you so much for tuning in and watching our awesome shows. So I want to make sure to gift that 10% promo so you can join us for an in-studio workshop with an agent or casting director, or one that's online that will enable you to get seen and move your career forward.
You know what I love most about that answer?
What's
How practical it was. You know, you weren't just like, I want to be Wonder Woman. You're like, I want to be a consistently paid actress
exactly.
and get to do the levels of the character. I mean, that was a really great answer.
Thank you.
And I think that a lot of people wouldn't even be that specific without the creative touch or color to it. And, you know, that was just incredibly practical.
And it would be so cool. Like I would love to do that.
Well, I would love for you to do it too. You know?
Dream job, yeah.
I'd love to see you as a series regular. And I mean, I truly believe that it's possible, or you know, we wouldn't be in this journey together so passionately. And I know that you just did a short that you helped create yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Can you share any details of that, or is this like top secret?
I mean, I think we can share it. No NDA or anything. We did it. It was so cool because it was 4 of us teen girls and we were all in a class together. And it's just being in the industry like at this age, there's like not a lot of stuff for us. So we decided that we wanted to make something for our own, not just wait around for someone else to give us something. So we created a short film and we got to help with the producing aspect of it too. Like we got to help with the story, we got to give feedback on the script and like help with rewrites and all of that and go location scouting. I actually found the location, which is so cool. Like I called them and got to talk to them. And it's so cool to get to see every different aspect of the business.
I love that. And that's inspiring for anyone else who might be a teenager
Yes,
watching.
definitely.
Like, you don't have to wait around for an email to be an actor. You can create your own stuff. You know, we got living proof right here. So when might we see any of this, you know?
Okay, I think we're going to have a rough cut by like June maybe.
That's
And
pretty
then
soon.
I know. And then after that, we'll probably have like maybe another few-ish months of like post after that. But Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
I'm so excited.
I know your mom sent me some stuff, and it just it looks like a great project.
Yeah, and we spent like over a year just like coming up with the idea, like figuring everything out, and just to see that like it's actually happening. Like it happened, exactly. Like all of the crew came together, like all of these people were just on board for like our idea, our dream, and it became a reality.
I hope it goes to festivals and wins awards, and you know what? It's probably just the first of many things that you'll end up producing.
I really hope so. It was really cool to get to see that.
Well, it's really cool to get to have you here today, Sophia. So
It's
thank
so
you.
cool to be here.
Thank you to our audience for tuning in. I hope you learned something today. We love doing the show. Thank you to Jesse Malinowski and Get Seen for producing. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show because you got your own cool booking story with a lesson, pitch it right to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. But before we go, Sophia, I forgot the best part. You win a free car for being here. Do you want to reach your hand in there and pick one out?
Alrighty. Let's see.
What'd you get?
We got
No
Batman
way.
and Robin Batmobile.
You got a Batmobile.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
My heart.
So cute. I love
So
it.
cute. Thanks again for being here. It means
Thank you
the
so
world.
much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.